Hey there.
Hi, it's Tammy.
Wonderful. Let me turn down my music. Wonderful. Okay. Tammy, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Welcome. Where are you calling out of?
I'm calling from Maryland, from
Oh,
Rockville,
okay.
Maryland. Yes.
Yes. I used
Yeah.
to live in Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to just start. I think a few others are going to join us, but it's all good.
Okay.
So how is your first day of our sugar-free September going?
I did pretty decent. I haven't had any sugar, but my thing is planning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because if I wait until I get actually hungry, like I am right now, it's like that's when I tend to mess up.
Okay.
Um, so I know that I have to plan ahead and make sure I have what I need available. But for the most part, yeah, I haven't had any sugar or no breads or anything like that. I've been watching my carbs and I'm tracking on my Fitbit app that I
Mm-hmm.
have.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the biggest shock because I did not know that a cup of strawberries were like 15 grams of carbs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I never knew that. And I had like 3/4 of a cup. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was like 11 point something grams of carbs. And I was shocked. I never knew that,
Yeah.
never tracked carbs. So
And
it,
berries are low, actually. Berries are low in terms of all the fruits. Berries tend to have a lower amount of carbs than other fruits.
okay. But was the goal, did I misunderstand? Because I was thinking the goal was like try to stay 30 or less on
Yes.
carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that made me make better choices for lunch. So
Yeah. Yeah, because
so
if it was zero, it would be really difficult because, a lot of veggies have carbs. Even if you get like a salad, some of the dressings might have like 3 carbs. So you can't. It's hard to do zero. 30
okay.
is reasonable. It's still low for a lot of people. I've been tracking for actually. I've been tracking for like a month, but consistently for the last 5 days.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 days ago, so I started before the first, but 2 days ago, um, I was like really trying to keep it below 30, and I was like, I can't believe what I ate was. I was at like 54. So
Okay.
I was like, gosh, especially, and that's why, this is a challenge because eating vegetarian, are you doing it vegetarian, or what is your how hardcore are you going?
Well, I'm trying to do mostly vegetarian, but I will have meat like chicken. Like tonight, I just went to the grocery store and I grabbed like this ham steak, and it's like 3 servings. So it's like I really didn't want to get that, but again, when you're hungry and you shop when you're hungry, you tend to make not the best choices. So, um, but
I
I'm
mean,
open to.
if you're a meat eater, it's actually easier for you to do
Oh,
this. And yeah, definitely. It's easier for you to do this than a strict vegetarian, because a strict vegetarian is going to have less choices in
oh, okay.
of in terms of low carb, because vegetarian is a high carb diet. I mean, there's like a lot of rice and beans and lots of fruit, and those are all high carb. So,
Okay.
so yeah, so doing it, if you are a meat eater, then you'll be able to keep your carbs low. The thing about this is, I do want folks to eat vegetables. I want you to get your veggies and your green
Right.
veggies. Wait, I gotta unplug my phone. Yeah. So, yeah. So, in terms of the ebook, did you download the ebook and go through it?
I went through it. I read it on my iPad, and
So,
so some of the items I'm not familiar with, but I'm open if I can find them. You know,
I
and
think I think because the ladies who wrote the book are from South Africa,
yeah,
and
I figured that.
so some of their words are different.
Right. See, I cook for a living, so it's like kind of easy for me to translate what they were talking about when they were talking about, I think the cream or whatever.
Mhm.
I know I figured they were talking about heavy whipping cream and
Mhm.
things like that. And the what was it for the ground meat? We say ground meat, but they were calling it mash or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I figured they meant ground meat, ground beef or something like that. So
Right. Right.
yeah. But
Good.
there were a few things that I wasn't quite familiar with, but I just figured, well, I would just throw it out there and ask you.
Right. Another thing is, the coolness about their ebook is you can kind of take it, and then you can. You said you're a chef,
Yeah.
so you can take it and then flip it to what you know. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you don't have to state on, well, on Monday eat this, on Tuesday eat this. You can use it as a guide and get a gist of what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's why I
Okay.
said, let's just go with, I was thinking about doing a program anyway. It was going to be a 10-day. And then
Uh-huh.
I was listening to this interview on a podcast, and they were talking about the sugar-free September. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I could just get my own group together, because I was planning on having a group so we can go low carb. Now, what is your goal by reducing your carbs? What is your ultimate goal for this month? Like, what interested you mostly into doing this?
Um, because I've been working here for a while with trying to get healthier. And so weight loss is my ultimate goal.
Okay.
And I know that because I'm a sugar addict, I
Mhm.
really want to wean myself, just get myself off of sugar. Cakes, pastries, things of that nature. I know it's a drug. It's addictive, and
Yes.
it's really hard to get off of it. But I've done it before, not to this extreme where I was counting carbs or anything. But I just left alone. I left bread and cookies and cakes and candies, things like that. I left that stuff alone, and I did lose some weight. So I figure, if I learn really how to eat healthier and everything, and apply these things, and plus reduce my carbs, I could really be more successful with losing weight. Because as far as the activity, I'm getting my activity in. Like I do kickboxing at least 2 times a week. I'm trying to amp that up to like at least 3 times. And then tomorrow is going to be my first day of this beginning running club that I joined. So and then I weight train too. So I try to do that at least 2 days a week. So the exercise is not a problem. It's the food. It's the sugar. because it's not
Absolutely.
even real food. It's sugar, like cakes. Because
Yeah.
I would sit there
Yeah.
and eat cake and not eat nothing else, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So this is going to be good for you because what's going to happen to you this month is one of the biggest things that's going to happen to you within the first week is you're going to go through a detox. You know that, right?
Right. Yeah.
So be prepared for that. And honestly, my headaches were so kicking, even up to yesterday. I had to lay down
Uh-huh.
that I had to take like an Advil. Is that what I had? I had an Advil. I was having like pounding, like boom, 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 and it was
Oh, no.
it was so uncomfortable. I was like, this is not going to happen anymore. So
Yeah.
I would just take it because, I mean, if anyone has any other recommendations on relieving, it's literally a carbohydrate withdrawal. You're literally getting off a crack. You know, that's how serious it is because we are so used to it. I put a film in the group on it's on Dropbox, but it's the film is called That Sugar Film.
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay.
And it is a guy who did sugar for a month or 2 months and
Okay.
what happened to his body and just some of the information that they talked about of what it does to your body. And you know, the more I've been reading about it, I've been really like, same thing with me, weight loss. So, you know, I go back in my mind and like, when have I lost weight easily? Like, when has it been effortless? Because I feel like I eat well. I feel like I don't feel like I work out as much, but I lately have started. Like the last few weeks, I've been working out like 5 days a week. But I'm like, what is it in my food that is not allowing my weight? Like, I don't feel like I should be this heavy. Like, I feel like I should be thin. But it's the exact opposite. And I was like, so I'm starting to read. And what happened was one of my friends on Facebook, whom I don't know, I actually follow her because I just thought she was cool. She put something on there about she's no longer vegan. And then she had a blog about why she no longer eats vegan and how a lot of different things happened to her body. And she started eating meat and things started changing. Now, for me, it wasn't enough for me to say, well, I'm giving up vegan or vegetarian. But it did make me question, well, I thought vegan and vegetarian was the ultimate end all be all, absolutely fabulous everything. Why am I having a problem with weight, and why am I not receiving the results that I want? And you know, and then I hear someone saying, well, it didn't work for me, and it kind of became like a little bell in my mind, like ding. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not necessarily the end all be all. So that's when I started looking up like low carb. I remember every time I did low carb, I would easily lose weight. Like it would start coming down, it would start coming off. And I always knew there was a process of it because your body is releasing its need for carbohydrates. So anyway, but lately all I've been reading is ketogenic and Atkins and everything, the paleo movement and all these different things that are related to low carb. And interestingly enough, and you'll even hear this if you look at that film. If you have time to look at it tonight, it's really interesting.
Okay.
Is sugar, carbohydrates are not an essential food. Okay? People are like, well, your brain needs carbohydrates, your brain needs glucose to sustain. And that is actually not the case. Fat is an essential food and protein is an essential food. Those are the two essential macronutrients that our body is required to consume, or else we will flat out zonk out. Like we will pass. I mean, I don't think we'll die if we don't eat fat, but we will definitely start going into like a deprivation. And so what has happened, and just by looking at the last 50 years of the health of I'll say Americans, the Western world, is everyone has been like, it's like systemic low fat diet. Like Fat is bad, fat is bad, fat is bad. Don't keep your fat low. But in that period of time, diabetes has become an epidemic. Cancer and heart disease are the three main issues that people are struggling and suffering with. And these are the top killers in the world. I mean, we think it's a lot of violence. Violence is a part of it, of deaths. But the truth of the matter is most people we know right now today are going to die because of our health.
Right.
And so, you know, just analyzing it, it just dawned on me that the sugar in our food, sugar is in absolutely everything. Like, it's in everything. As soon as you go to the grocery store, you start finding out, like, okay, I don't have much choices here, you know? And especially if I consider, like, I'll get a bag of carrots, but I can't even eat a lot of carrots because they're very high in sugar.
Right.
And so your diet becomes like, and most people don't eat a whole variety of food. They do eat a concentrate, but now I'm changing it. So I used to go get brown rice, all these different flavor beans. I would get a bunch of fruit, papayas, mangoes, pineapple, what have you. And now I'm not getting zero of it, none of it. So, hey, Dawn, how are you?
Hey,
Dawn, hey, Dawn and I went to Lincoln University together.
Oh,
And now she's a doctor. Dr. Dawn. So basically, long story short is, the truth of the matter is, fat is an essential food. We need it. We need good fat, not just like eat a slab of some kind of grease, dipped in grease, deep fried, like good quality fats. Coconut oil, avocados, nuts, sunflower seeds are good. Like, seeds are good, sunflower seeds, and what other seeds are? Flax. All of those things are really good for healthy fats because you want to incorporate those into your diet. Chia is another good fat. What else?
What about almonds?
Almonds, all your nuts are really good. Almonds are the better nuts to eat because almonds are alkalizing. What else? And then in terms of protein, you know, if you eat meat, then all your meats are protein. You want to eat meat that is, the biggest thing about meat eating is not necessarily, let me just go eat any meat. It's the quality of your meat. If you're going to be a meat eater, eat a good meat. Eat a free range, eat an organic, look at where it's grown, where it's raised, if it's a local farm, like not just some Purdue company that is some big old corporate next, you know, all these chickens are in a big old factory and stuff like that. Try to get quality meats because it's not just you know, it's not just to the sake of eating meat. Like, people eat meat consciously, you know, and so I can appreciate that even if I'm not a meat eater. And then, of course, the big thing you want to grab is a lot of green leafy veggies. Collards, kale, cabbage, lettuces, spinach. You know, you want to have a lot of that on hand. I just had my dinner tonight, really, because I'm going to tell you what I ate today, which I was completely full. What did I eat for breakfast? I can't remember. What did I have? I can't remember. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast. But anyway, I can't even remember that far. But anyway, for lunch I had, so when you have a breakfast that's low in carb and it has more fat in it, fat calories are going to be heavier than carbohydrate calories and protein. So when you eat something with fat in it, it's going to satiate you a lot longer than a carby food. You're going to be satisfied longer. So anyway, whatever I had for breakfast, I don't remember. But anyway, I had lunch around 2 o'clock. And yesterday I made a low-carb pizza with, I'll post it in the group. I made a coconut flour and flax crust, and then I made spinach topping with, this was like a an easy fake out because I didn't have tomato sauce. So I put a little Alfredo sauce, and then I put Munster cheese, and then I put spinach, and then I sprinkle pepper and garlic and stuff, and it was good. And then I baked that again. And so I just had a piece of it, and I also sauteed zucchini and mushrooms, which are low carb veggies, and that was it. And that held me till this evening. I actually just ate at 9 o'clock, or no, not 9, 8:45, like right before I got on this call. And I probably didn't have to eat because I felt good, but I said, let me just eat some more. And I literally opened a can of olives, and black olives, I love black olives, drained them out, put them in a bowl, and I ate those as a snack / meal. So I'm good for the night. And so you are already calculating. Dawn, let me ask you what it is. How are you feeling? What have you been eating? Have you had any withdrawal symptoms? Dawn, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you. At first, it went in and out a little bit, but I heard you. I kind of started trying to not eat any refined sugars, things that I knew specifically had sugars in them. And then today I tried to be a little bit better. So I've had salad. I had tuna fish. So tuna fish, of course, had mayonnaise in it, but that's probably the only time I did any dairy so far today, because I had been really eating a lot of dairy, but I've been trying to cut back on it. I didn't know if I should try to stay on it with this diet, especially since it does have a little bit more fat in it, to see if it would like kind of sustain me a little bit. I just been trying to do it that way, like salads. Breakfast is the hardest thing for me because a lot of times I have to be like on the go, and I'm trying to hurry to get to work because I'm trying to get there early for 8 o'clock class. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out something the next couple of days. I've been thinking about just grabbing some vegetables and just taking them with me, because normally I would be eating like oatmeal or something like that, or Raisin Bran, something that generally sustains me, because I don't usually get to eat again until noon.
What about a breakfast smoothie? Or do you have time? I usually can make a smoothie in like 30 seconds.
Hold on. I didn't hear exactly what you said.
I said, what about making a breakfast smoothie? I usually can make one in like 30 seconds.
I was thinking about, I've seen these people do like the chia, take the chia seeds and make almost like a chia pudding or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. You can make that at night and make it in a bowl, like a to-go bowl, like a container with a lid, and you can add chia and almond milk, and then you can throw in some berries, and yeah, you could use coconut milk, almond milk. You can do, you can also throw in some cinnamon. I'm not sure.
Yeah, with the almond milk.
Yeah, and then just let it gel. It thickens up. It like the chia absorbs the almond milk and it gets nice and thick. And then it is kind of like an oatmeal. It has that texture, that that thick, hearty texture. So that might help. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
Good. How is everything?
It's coming along.
Yeah, so tell us how your first day went.
It went good. I did a smoothie this morning. I'm looking at the grams of sugar because I'm dealing with candida. I think I told you on your page. So I had an outbreak. So I have to really, really be mindful of my sugar intake now.
What kind of smoothie did you make?
Well, I'm with Isogenic, so it only has like 7 grams of sugar. So I mix it with some, I put green apple, a little tahini, and some Kangen water. Okay.
And did that sustain you for a good amount of time?
Yes, because normally I'm not a breakfast person, so I'll and I got some greens tonight, so I'll do some greens and some berries tomorrow for my. It sustained me until I ate about 4 o'clock. About 5 o'clock I had dinner.
So what about adding a little coconut oil to your smoothie?
You have to try that.
Yeah. That will also help with the candida because coconut oil is antifungal,
Right. Okay.
and it'll help with that.
Okay.
Great. So the first day, I wanted to do it last night, but like I was telling Tammy earlier, I'm going through carb withdrawal, and I just realized that I'm a junkie like no other. And I just had like throbbing migraine headaches for the last couple of days that I just feel like I can't even function. I mean, I was just sleeping, laying down. Today, midday, I took a nap and I felt like I slept for hours, and I was just like, what is going on? So definitely you guys, once, I would think like after a few days, you're going to get used to like the menu and just trying to figure out how to eat. Cause I know, okay, it's easy not to add sugar to coffee. That's easy because it's like, okay, it's a physical thing. But it's like the sugar that's in food already is really, people don't realize that there's a lot of sugar in ketchup and there's a lot of sugar in everything, and salad dressing.
Yeah.
I'm not strictly vegan anymore. So I got these delicious, I don't know if you guys have a Costco near you, but they have these salmon burgers because
yeah, those are divine.
you know those, right? So if I'm not like in cooking mode where I'm throwing down and making pots and noise and stuff, then I'm also the other type of cook, which is like I need 2 minutes and so I will eat like a burger and call it a day. Just that, and I'll take a hunk of cucumber, put it on there and bite it. Like that's how simple I can get when I just want to eat something. I don't need it to be gourmet and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I made one of those little salmon burgers, and I went in my fridge and I got this sriracha, the sriracha hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not the sriracha brand. It's a fake out sriracha. It's called sriracha hot sauce. So I think the real sriracha is low carb, but this one had 5 grams of sugar. So I was like, wow, that's deep to me. So I didn't use it because I felt like, other things that I eat are carby, like even my veggies and stuff like that. But just for you guys to make it easy, the other day I had gotten a whole big mess of collards, and I made a big pot of collards and cabbage, like home style, onions, garlic, and I sauteed them and then threw water and kind of let them cook down for a good, nice, delicious, like just down home greens, and more than we would eat in one serving. And then I ate greens for like 2 or 3 days. So I've had greens. So it's just like a tip, like especially folks who are on the go, they got to go to work, they don't have time to be cooking greens every day. Cook in bulk, like on the weekend, and make a big pot of something that you can like go to. Like if you are a meat eater and you do chicken or turkey, like make a big one and then just cut it up over the week and have it ready. The chia cups I think are excellent. In fact, that's such an excellent idea, Dawn. I'm going to get me some chia and make some chia pudding myself. And then just have cups ready to go. And then when you go to work, you just, a lot of people run out the house and they don't even eat. So just grab a cup and you can eat it in between, class time or something like that. So those are just some of the pointers that I would recommend. I'm not sure how often we're going to have these hangouts. I'm really open to having them as often as you guys want to. So, I'm thinking a couple days a week we can do it. If you guys want to, say like, hey, let's do another one, I'm all open to that. But this is really just to check in with folks who are participating. It seems like a lot of people are. Like even I went to a meeting earlier today in my neighborhood, a community meeting, and a lady said she's doing it. And I had no idea. She's like, yeah, I'm doing the sugar-free September thing with you, Sky. And I was like, wow, I didn't even realize. So, yeah, so this is really great. Go ahead.
Because I mean, just sitting here talking to you, I'm thinking about things I have in the refrigerator already that had totally forgotten about. I have some black bean burgers, and I have I usually, in order to keep the kale from like going bad really quickly, if I buy a whole lot of it, then I take it and I will grind it down with some coconut water, and I put it in ice trays so that I could just pop them in the blender and then do a real quick shake. And I usually freeze bananas and freeze strawberries when they get to their ripeness, so that I could just pop those in for a quick smoothie.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of food here in my house that I can't eat actually because of my family. So that's another thing. Folks, not everyone is by themselves, so they might have a family and who's, like you mentioned, oatmeal. I got oatmeal here. There's bread. There's all kind of dumb stuff. I wish I could get rid of everything and just have it the kind of food I want. But you got to make compromise. So this is just, your motivational first day. And like you said, Tammy, go to the grocery store, get the things that you can do easily. I was saying some of my go-to things are like eggplant, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Are low carb. They saute easily. I'm all about tofu. Again, I was off of tofu for years, but I'm doing fermented soy because fermented soy is the body processes it differently over like soy proteins that you find in soy milk and soy protein powders. The body is going to look at that as a spike in estrogen. A lot of people hear like soy is a high hormonal food. It is. I never knew what was wrong with that, but they were like, yeah, soy has a high estrogen, so maybe there's something to that. But I have to go look it up. But tofu, miso, and tempeh are all fermented soy, and so when you ferment so mostly when you ferment most things, it changes its chemical nature. So and it tends, I won't say tofu is alkaline, but fermenting tends to alkalinize foods like kombucha and different, even vinegars. Vinegar is a fermented food, et cetera, et cetera. So white vinegar is not alkaline, but apple cider vinegar is. I guess there's something in it. So yeah. So any questions, any more questions or observances or comments or want to share or want to ask?
I have a question, Sky. I don't eat eggs. I can't digest them. So what would be some good supplements in place of eggs?
Well, that's what I had for breakfast. You just made me remember. I made scrambled tofu.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I actually, when I really, really, really think about it, I prefer scrambled tofu to any other kind of tofu. So, because it's easier.
Firm tofu?
Yep, you can even use soft. Actually, it works. They all work well. But you basically mash it up. You could saute it if you use butter or oil or Earth Balance, whatever you use. You can throw in salt, pepper, garlic. And then I also, what's really good is nutritional yeast, but I have to see how many carbs is in that because I never really counted that. I didn't actually use that today because I didn't have any, but that's what I normally would put in my scrambled tofu, and it's so yummy. Okay. And that's another thing, if you cook, you think of like the one item that you're cooking, like say I saute mushrooms. I sauteed mushrooms today with onions. So the thing is, tracking now is really good. Like I think everyone should just track their food at least for the first month of September, because I'm going to continue this. I'm going to continue this low carb thing continuously. And who's that, Nicole? I don't think your camera's not on. But anyway, I'm going to continue this after September, so I might start either another group or, maybe, whatever. But after after a month of tracking what you eat, you'll kind of get if this is a lifestyle for you and not just a detox or a challenge. Some people do things for temporary. Some people are like, you know what? Like myself, I see that I need to eat this way permanently. Like I mean, I might go to a party and have a slice of cake. You know, I'm not going to be that crazy about it. But for now, I see that this is something that I really need to do. So tracking is really important, really monitoring how you eat and how much. Another thing is a lot of people in the low-carb world will say calories don't matter. But I have been reading up on that, and calories do matter. So you still, if you're trying to lose weight with this, you still want to monitor how much you're eating because the truth of the matter is you're going to be eating more in fat. If you're eating a higher fat amount, if fat calories are more calories than carbs. So if you eat the same amount of food as you were eating in carbohydrates, you're getting more calories. So the other day when I was telling you, Tammy, that I was calculating my carbs were up to like 54, and I'm trying to stay under 30. This is only for folks who want to go that hard. I think there's different levels of people. Some people just want to eliminate sugar. Some people want to eliminate sugar, lose weight. Some people have like diabetes. There's different levels, but a lot of the healing happens when a lot of the sugars are reduced. But if you're really trying to like go scientific with it, so the other day, this was before the first, so a couple days ago, I was tracking and I must have ate too much, and I didn't even feel like I did, but fat calories were more. And when I look at what I ate, I had a breakfast, I had a lunch, I had a dinner. And by the time I look at my calories, I went to like 2,000 calories. And I'm trying to be between 1,200 and 1,500. So, you know, so monitoring that, calories as well as carbs is tricky, you know, especially with eating less carb, higher fat, you know. So it is a learning curve. It's going to be a learning curve this month. And, you know, I encourage everyone to track as much as you can because it also makes you realize what you eat and being mindful of your foods, you know. So, yeah. I think that's it for me. I don't have anything else. Did you have any other questions? No? Alrighty.
No.
So I will talk to you guys, you know, later. Feel free to, you know, post in the group, you know, any thoughts or concerns or sharing, just to keep the dialogue going. If you mess up, you're human, you know, you're not at fault. You can even tell us that, you know, that's good too if like you're like, oh shoot, I ate a cracker. I remember someone said, I forgot that I was doing this and I ate the wrong thing. No, that's real. Like I will go in the fridge and automatically eat something, be like, oh shoot, I forgot I'm doing this. So, you know, just be real about it because, you know, no one's here to judge. We're all here to support, and, you know, it's great to have company in doing something strange and different.
Oh,
so, anyway, you guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you later, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Good night.
All right, thanks. Good night.
Peace.
Peace.